Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and I'm here today to welcome you to Enter the Poserverse. It's Monday. Read some books. Liked some were okay. Didn't dislike any. So to find out what I think the top 5 books are from last week's New Comic Book Day that you should pick up on this week's New Comic Book Day so you don't miss out, you should check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, before I showcase my top 5 books of the week, Monday and Tuesday's normal videos of pull list and top 5 are definitely going to happen. I have a slew of other pre-recorded content because this Wednesday, the 21st, I get my dental surgery, and I don't know how well I will be able to talk, or how long it will take me to get, rid of or used to the pain and kind of acclimated to the new $6 billion man toofuses that I have. So if I kind of disappear for a little bit from live stuff and you just get a bunch of canned recorded stuff and it's all unboxings or other random things, it's just taking me longer to get back up on my feet than I think I would. But I plan on kind of dusting off the writing chops and getting into some more stuff on the blog. So if you want to see what kind of stuff I'm into, what kind of stuff I'm previewing, all those other things, then check out comicbookposer.com. The other 2 things that I will remind you of is, number 1, we are still on that road to 1,000 subscribers. We're something about 80 away. So you can click the link to this video. That should pop up. All you got to do is comment in the video and you get an entry on the wheel. I also have created 2 social media posts telling you things that you could do to get a bonus entry on the wheel, and I plan on, through the next 10 days, posting some other things that you can do to get entries, other people that you should follow, other channels that I love and respect that I think you should support and help grow. And that's that. Was that 2 things and I only said 1? I don't remember. It's been a long day. So, without further ado, let's talk about my 5 favorite books of the week. Coming in at number 5 from Image Comics is The Scumbag number, is it 7? Yep, number 7. It is by Rick Remender. The artist on this book is Francesco Mobley, and the colorist is Moreno Dionisio. The letterer is Russ Wooten, and that's it. There's some editors. They did a good job. So, the second arc of The Scumbag, our man Ernie has been playing for 2 different teams that he is still working on behalf of the government because of that formula, or the agency that he injected the formula from, to kind of stop the bad guys. But we learned at the end of the first arc that he is a double agent because they can pay him in drugs, hookers, and blow. He is on the moon in this book, trying to get essentially something that allows him to open an alternate universe like the anti-mirror, so he can do some things to change the planet. The 4 characters that he has to battle on the moon in this are absolutely hilarious. That there are a lot of good kind of critiques of the current social world, current, ordering in terms of like virtue signaling people who are too sexy. We get to see the inner workings of the religious cult that we also have learned about in the previous book. And just when I thought there couldn't be a way that Scumbag gets wilder and, more crazy, and something that I probably shouldn't read when I'm in the same room with my kids, it says hold my beer and kicks it up a notch. So I really enjoyed it. This series is just a good gift that keeps on giving, and I always look forward to the next one. Coming in at number 4, another wildly obscene, over-the-top book is Space Bastards number 4. This is from Humanoids, and it's by Eric Peterson and Joe Aubrey. Derek Robertson is the artist, Pete Pantzaitis is the colorist, and Taylor Esposito is the letterer. So we know that there is a coming threat to the Space Postal Service, that someone has created a teleporting system that essentially makes the, capture the flag style, kill everybody antics of the Postal Service obsolete. So we learn that there are essentially two people who are kind of working sort of on the behalf of the Space Postal Service, but really one is to help out the other, and the other is a free agent, to steal the teleporter. We see some interesting use of some surplus sex robots. In this one, we see an interesting love affair or a desired affair with this lovely looking creature. But we get a lot of wild that I have enjoyed this book from Humanoids as much as I have Scumbag, that it's just a good read. It's not a book that attempts to make itself be something it's not. It very much knows its identity as a book and, lets its freak flag fly. Coming in at number 3 from Aftershock is Maniac of New York, number 3. This is by Elliot Kalan with Andrea Moody on the art and Taylor Esposito on the letters. So at the end of book 2, we realize that the murderer is on the first totally automated train in New York City, and he is on his killing spree. But what this issue really starts to focus on is kind of the backstory of Zelda, who is the retired detective. We learn why she's kind of cold and standoffish. We kind of learn how she's wired and oriented as a person, and of course there's a lot of murdery, stabby stab as these two women continue to work together on the train to take down Harry. This was a wild book. I did not see the events of the ending coming in the way that they did, although the first 2 pages kind of spoils what's going to happen. But it was interesting. The other thing that was in the back is a 3-page preview for the Girls of Dimension 13. This looks like an interesting creepy house book that I'm going to check out issue number 1 of, and it comes out end of April, it looks like. So I don't think I had that on my pull for FOC, but I hope I'm going to be able to pick that up. Coming in at number 2 is a book that I've really enjoyed from Mad Cave Studios. It's They Fell from the Sky, number 3. This is written by Lizelle Buenaventura. The artist is Xavier Torrega. The colorist is DJ Chavez. Jomette Gill is the letterer, and Barry Hall is the color assistant. So, book 2 ends with, the alien kind of being nursed back to health, and we see a dude arrive at the family's house, and he's like, this isn't what you think it is. And the entirety of issue 3 offers the backstory into this alien species, and it really makes you wonder if this particular alien that has landed on planet Earth is as threatening as the story that the man tells. And this isn't some weird, I got abducted and probed. There's a story of an attack on Earth that this man survived and kind of warns the family about. And it's real good. The story that Lizelle has put together is quite entertaining. Xavier's art throughout this is just fantastic. That, I keep staring through this and looking at some of the intentional cartooniness of, here's where they interact with the alien portion. I like how there are some change-ups in the art style, and the colorists do a great job in kind of matching that. And I think this is a book that's kind of being eclipsed by how successful Nottingham is at the moment. Not to take anything away from that book, that book is also fantastic. But I think this is a book that a lot of people are kind of sleeping on, or it's not getting as much hype because something else is happening at Mad Cave that is just changing the game for them. So don't sleep on They Fell from the Sky. If you can find issues 1 through 3, read it. It's a really, really good retelling of kind of an 80s nostalgia-y, alien buddy film that, if you're my age, if you're in your late 30s, almost 40, or a little bit older, you remember those films like a Mac and Me, like an E.T., and this does a lot to kind of touch play those notes for you in a very, very excellent way, but in its own, unique direction. And finally, our pick of the week. This was the first book I read this week. And the moment I got done with it, I knew there was absolutely nothing that could unseat it. So, your champion of last week's New Comic Book Day from Image Comics is home. I cannot think of a book that is more relevant to read, this short of a window after the Trump administration, right? This book focuses on a mother and son who are migrating from Guatemala to the United States, that they are a family who has faced gang violence, that the gang killed the husband and father of this family. They wanted to take down the son. So the first several pages kind of highlights their harrowing journey from Guatemala to the United States. And when they get there and they're like, hey, we're going to live with an aunt who will take us in, you see the coldness and the hostility of the American immigration system, because this is taking place literally the day after the Trump administration announces the family separation policy. And that was so covered in press that, we think we know so many different elements of what was happening with that story, but this gives us insight into some of the holding facilities, into the anguish of some of the mothers as they have children who are torn away from them, the helpfulness of some people who have been stuck in the system for a while. And this whole book, you just feel sad and kind of disgusted at, the state of how people seeking asylum in the United States are treated. And then the last 2 pages happen, and it's like, okay, you have a sense of hope for one of the characters who is here and is being treated badly, because, holy shit, this did not turn into the book that I thought it was going to be. The way that it tells the story of migrants is fascinating. It pulls at the heartstrings. It makes you feel awful for, if you tacitly stood by and let some of the things that happened happen without fighting, without calling or emailing someone, without donating to a charity. And then something exceptional happens at the end and turns it into a different kind of story of hope that may be fitting in the nature of some modern realms, lore, genres of comic books. So fascinating book. You should definitely pick this one up if you see it at your shop this week. That I want to pour over the next several issues, especially in looking at the last page, and I'll see if I can show you the next couple of covers without... Nah, that'll spoil the last page, but you see the covers for issues 2 through 5 on the next to last page, and I think this series is about to do some huge things at Image, so pick it up to read because it's a good book. If you're looking to spec on some indie comics, pick up this one because I think it's going to blow up in the best way possible. So let me know what you think. If you're over here in the chat, let me know how right or wrong that I got things this week. If you're watching on the rewind, let me know what you think down in the description below. But like I said, I'm looking forward to putting together my pull list video, which I'm going to record right when I hit stop. And then we'll see how quickly I get to do some actual real-timey kinds of things in the near future. But as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Thank you for being a friend.
And from my heart, I want to give you a big Bronx yeah. Yo, big things soon to come. Keep doing your thing. Come.
And I want to thank you. Thank you, silence.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4.